What is up, y'all? I always gotta start with a deep breath. So take a deep breath with the girl, y'all. So much. My eyebrows are busted. It's COVID. You know, Vegas is slowly starting to open. So I will be able to get this thing right pretty soon, okay? So bear with me. But I just want to come on here and let y'all know things are going well. Where do I begin? It's been a good time, a good minute since I came on and talked with you guys. So I wanted to get back on and, thank you guys for all the love and support, the text messages, the DMs that I've been getting, the support that I've been getting has just been phenomenal. And I'm excited to continue to share my story because for some reason, like I said in my last video, God has chosen me to be the vessel to go through what I'm going through and for my family to go through what we're going through. And we are doing it to help someone who potentially could go through what we have just gone through. So here we are, the Gregory gang. And my husband, the other day he had made a post and he was like, he was in the NICU and he said he was just in his feelings or whatever. And he said that, he wants to tell his side of the story. He wants to share how he's been feeling, being my partner and going through this with me. And I'm excited to hear what he wants to share. So I might be able to get him to make the video tonight. I'm gonna see. So I'm gonna have him make a video and then I'm gonna post it on the YouTube channel. So stay tuned. But Journey is 102 days old. She is 38 and 2 gestational weeks. We are almost at the finish line. Right now, my baby girl is working on eating. And look, let me tell you, in the beginning when Journey was born, they said, Portia, the hardest part is going to be at the end when your child is looking all big and yummy and, we're past all the organ issues. We're past the scary things that can go on in the NICU with the baby being so premature. And they said the hardest part is going to be the feedings. For some reason, developmentally, a lot of the babies, depending on how prematurely that they're born, it just takes them longer to grasp how to eat, what do they say? Suck, swallow, and breathe. Suck, swallow, and breathe, I think. Babies have a hard time with that because it's a brain development thing. So they ain't lied because it's been so hard, y'all. It's been so hard. At one point last week, I had to ask Deshaun to go to the hospital 3 to 4 days in a row for me because mentally I was exhausted. I was sad. I was losing my peace in God. I was angry. I just hated going to the hospital and leaving without my baby. The hardest part is not going to the NICU. The hardest part is leaving your child there. And it was weighing on me. Y'all, my baby, she's 14 weeks and 2 days old, which is 102 days, which is 38 because she was born at 23.5. She's 38 and 2 gestational weeks. So I can count on 2 fingers how many days I've missed. Out of those 102 days, I've probably missed 6 to 7 days. And with that being said, mentally, I was dying last week. I had a couple breakdowns. It was tough for me last week, and I think it's just been so tough for me because the world, they see me being this strong person, and then my sister and her wife were in town, and then I would say certain things, and their expectation is for me to be strong too, where, man, I'm strong, but this is like a whole nother strength. And emotionally, it's weighing on me. And I continue to speak strength over my life. I continue to ask God to continue to encourage me, to continue to push me through, guide me, rule and direct, because it's been tough, okay? It's been tough. And I smile and I can make jokes about it because that's what helps me to continue. One thing that this has taught me is I have to be aware of my vulnerability and who I am being vulnerable with, because of that expectation where people think that I am this strong person and I have to remain in this strong, in control manner, but I choose to be vulnerable with certain people, and because of that expectation, I can keep the face while I'm in front of them, but then when I leave, I break down because I'm not that strong. I'm strong, but I'm not that strong. I don't know. I'm in counseling, Lord help me, because this shit is tough. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, this is what Sean always says, Journey is doing so well. You know, my mom the other day, she said, Portia, think how you would be if you were pregnant right now. Like with Skylar, with the pandemic and everything closed, and with the seriousness of being pregnant and COVID, you would be in the house and you would be losing your mind. You would be a damn fool. And she valid, because I probably would be. And she was like, just think about it like this. You've been able to hug and love and kiss on your baby for 100 days. And that's valid. I have been able to. And when I'm in the NICU and I'm with my baby, it is the best time ever. And I remove distractions. And I just love on her. And I lay her on my chest, or I nurse her. And it's amazing. But to that point, let's talk about some specifics. What has truly been going on? So, girl, this NICU is driving me crazy because, let me tell y'all. So, it's a pregnant nurse, and, you know, she was in there, and when I saw her, I immediately felt a little sad because I'm like, damn, you know, here she is full term. Damn near full term. She looked full term, and I'm sitting here in the NICU with my baby who was born at 23 and 5. So it makes you sad a little bit. But then, you know, you just go on. It is what it is. So then, another nurse who was actually like one of my favorite nurses, so I was surprised that she said this. One of the other nurses was like, hey, so how far along are you? And the nurse said, oh, I'm 36 and 0. And the nurse said, oh, well, make sure you keep your baby inside of you for at least 1 more week so she doesn't end up in here. And when she said that, I was like, no, she didn't. Because at that time, I was the only mom in the NICU. It is, 12 beds in the NICU. I was the only one at the time. And it just rubbed me the complete wrong way. Because being in the NICU is such an emotional experience. And for one, it's a pregnant nurse, so I'm sure I'm not the only mom that's, you know, in her feelings about seeing a woman in the NICU who is pregnant. You know, at the end of the day, this woman can't change the fact that she's pregnant. It's a blessing. It's a God-given gift that you've been able to carry your baby for this long. So kudos to you. I wish you the best, baby man. But for that other nurse to have said that comment in front of, you know, the curtains were closed and I was in there, but I could hear her because she didn't whisper it. She said it loudly. So I was in my feelings and just thinking about it. You know, I texted my mom. I told my mom what was going on. I think I might have texted somebody else, you know, what was said. I texted Sean. And I ended up leaving out for a minute. I went to the bathroom. And, you know, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Like, I could not stop thinking about what she said. So, on my way back, you know, I'm going back and forth. I'm like, should I say something? Should I say something? You know, you don't want to be that mom in the NICU who always, you know, making a comment or whatever. But I was just very bothered by that comment. So, because as a NICU mom, you already feel guilty. Like, you feel guilty that you brought your baby into this world. Well, speaking for me, I feel guilty that my baby was born at 23 and 5. I know it was nothing that I could have done, but unfortunately, my body pushed my baby out, pushed both my babies out. So it, you know, yes, I shouldn't feel guilty. I do. But at the same time, you know, it is what it is. You feel guilty that your baby is here, born so prematurely when she shouldn't have been born this early. Sean about to come in. But, Sean, I'm on the phone. Well, I'm on my YouTube. So,
Where my food at? No, I'm just kidding.
Shut up.
Just kidding.
Okay, so I come back from the bathroom and I'm asking myself, should I say something? And there was a nurse there sitting at the labor and delivery admitting table. So I said, I'm gonna ask her. So I went up to her, I told her the situation. I said, what do you think I should do here? And she said, you know, wow, I can't believe the nurse would say something like that. You know, it's kind of up to you. I get what you're saying. You don't want to be that mom, but it needs to be corrected. And sometimes as nurses, you know, we're human. We forget what we're saying and how it can affect other people. And I get that. But that particular comment, as a NICU nurse, this is all you do, you should know not to make a comment like that. So she said, you can either go to the charge nurse, you could say something to the nurse if you feel more comfortable about it, or, you know, don't say anything. So after that conversation, I went back in, I sat down bedside with Journey, and I didn't say anything. And that nurse who made the comment, she was out to lunch. Because at that point, I was going to say something to her. But she was out to lunch and I was getting ready to leave. So I said something to the pregnant nurse because she was washing bottles at that time. And I said, you know, I'm so happy to see that you're pregnant. It's exciting that you've made it this far. You know, you're so beautiful. Giving her all the, you know, good words, good comments, I could say. I meant it, though. I did mean it at the end of the day. Like, it's a beautiful thing to be able to carry your baby full term. I did it with Skylar. You know, here this woman is doing it. My girlfriend just had her baby, Jasmine. So it's awesome. No shade at all to women who could carry full term. Hell, I wish I could have carried full term with my twins. But, so I wanted to let her know that first and foremost, I'm ecstatic that you are pregnant, ecstatic that you are carrying full term, and you cannot control, oh, because I'm pregnant now I can't work in the NICU. No, that's not right. You're giving us hope to try again. So I communicated that to her, and then I said, you know, I just wanted to say that the comment that was made by that nurse about your baby ending up in the NICU was very hurtful. And I've been in the NICU for 3 months, so I'm a little bit more thicker skinned. I can take it because I've been there for 3 months. But to a new NICU mom who is just entering into this journey, that could have broke her because you don't want your child to end up into the NICU. And she was super apologetic, so, you know, it is what it is. I made my comment. I mean, I shared with her how I felt, and she apologized. And, you know, I said, I just want to let you guys know that that was how I felt and how, you know, that could have affected another new mom. So then the next day, I come back to the NICU, and that nurse isn't there, but the nurse who made the comment is there. So I go sit down bedside, close the curtains, I'm smiling behind my mask or whatever, but she can't see. So I sit down, and she's talking to another parent, and she makes the parent, you know, she was making some jokes or whatever, and it was a father at the time with some twins, and he said, oh, you make it so nice in here. And she said, yeah, you know, I would never say anything to purposely offend anyone or try to hurt anyone's feelings. So I feel like for her to have made that comment when I was there, it was for me. So that was her apology. So that was one situation. It is what it is, you know. nothing can be done. So, bam. And then, what's another situation? So in the NICU, it's 12 beds all around. I picked my area because I was there at the time when Journey was moved over. She is in a corner that looks over the healing garden in the NICU. So when we moved over to that area, about a week ago, they brought 2 twins right next to our area. And it was a twin girl who was right, like, you literally got, like, this little area, and then you got another little area. Like, they're right next to each other. So, it's a little girl and a little boy, a set of twins that are right next to us. And then there's another set of twins that's on the other side. I get it. You can't control which babies end up in the NICU. You can control where they are positioned. But due to demand and capacity, I get it. If there's no room to move babies around, I get it. That's fine. It is what it is. I'm going to have to deal with seeing twins in my life. It's going to be okay. But being in the NICU is already an emotional experience. So I'm sitting there. The first day, I'm in my feelings about it. The second day, I'm like, okay, this is getting a little tough for me because the nurses are speaking out loud about it. They're saying, oh, twin B, twin A, oh, twin A needs to eat. They keep making comments out loud about the twins. So it's known that these are the twins. And the twin twin B is the girl, and she's right next to me. So, this day 2 comes, and I'm like, okay, just breathe. Day 3 comes, and I couldn't take it anymore. I mean, so the occupational therapist was walking by, and she said, oh, Portia, how you doing, da-da-da, and I just immediately started crying, and I was like, this has just, I said, I'm trying to keep it in. I'm trying not to be that parent. I'm trying to control my emotions, and I'm trying. And she said, what's going on? What's going on? And I said, I get it, everything that I just said. I get it. You guys can't control whatever. But it's just hurting me a little that I'm right next to a twin who happens to be a girl. Because if Sienna, my twin A, would have made it, she would have been right there. So because the NICU life is just already emotional, and then I'm dealing with crap people are saying in the NICU, then I'm dealing with my internal feelings. I'm dealing with my baby, damn near almost 7 pounds, looking amazing, taking a bottle, but because she's not taking a full bottle, she can't leave. And then y'all put twins next to me and a little girl right next to me who's the twin B. It just hurt me. And I shared with her, how sad I was by it and whoa. And she was like, Portia, I completely understand. We'll talk to the nurses about it and see what we can do. And I felt it was sincere. So it was fine. So my nurse, Journey's nurse, ends up coming back and she said, oh, Portia, the occupational therapist had mentioned that you had a problem with the baby, the twins right next to you. And I said, it's not that I have a problem with it. It just, at the end of the day, it just makes me a little sad or whatever. And she said, well, Journey's doing great. She's a strong little baby. You're going to see twins everywhere. And unfortunately, we just have so many twins in the NICU right now that we have nowhere to move the set of twins that are in the right next to Journey. So I said, okay, I understand. I'll just check up my feelings or whatever. Like I was sincere about it. I was nice. I wasn't shady or nothing. I was like, okay. So then, I'm in my feelings still. I sit down. I stay with my baby for another hour, 2 hours or whatever. And then I call my mom and I'm telling my mom everything that's going on. So the next day when I go in, the occupational therapist was sitting at the desk and she was like, Portia, we are going to do everything that we can do to move your baby today. And inside, I'm thinking, like, no, I don't want her to move. Like, I picked that area. We right by the healing garden, blah, blah, blah. So, and I just said, okay, thank you. That's so nice of you. You know, I appreciate it. So I go sit down, and Journey's nurse comes over, who's a new nurse, and she said, Portia, we're going to move the baby next to you. And inside, I'm like, yes, because the girl don't want to move. I want to stay where I'm at. So, I said, okay, thank you, Maria. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to say names. I said, thank you. So, to me, I'm thinking in my head, like, why are y'all able to move the baby today when I asked for you to move the baby yesterday? And the occupational therapist had just happened to come over, and I was telling her, I asked her, I said, oh, so why are you guys able to move today or whatever? And she said, because I said, the nurse yesterday told me that there were so many sets of twins and you guys aren't able to move. And she said, no, we only have 2 sets of twins and we definitely have areas for them to move. And I was thinking, like, okay, whatever, here we go again. So, they moved the twins and I was just super grateful for it because, again, it's super emotional. Like, it's just a jacked up situation that one, my baby is in the NICU, and then 2, y'all put me right next to some twins. So I'm grateful that they were able to move the twins because the girl was in her feelings. So those are just 2 examples of things that have gone on in the NICU, but at the end of the day, Journey is doing great. My baby should be home, God willing, because we know that God's timing is perfect, and I'm not putting a time limit on it anymore, because I was doing that and my feelings get hurt because it doesn't happen when I think it should happen. But at the end of the day, God is laughing at the plan that I have because my steps are already ordered and he already has written the plan. So I am leaving it 100% into God's hands. And I just keep saying my prayer, God, I'm ready. I'm ready to receive her. At any point, we got all her beds together. We got her rooms together. We got bassinets. We got her swing bottle. I got all the milk. I got all the breast milk, baby. I'm ready. I'm ready for my baby to come home. So her due date is June 9th. I'm praying that God sees fit for her to come home on her birthday, due date, or prior. So I just wanted to get on here and tell y'all a little bit about what's going on. I'm going to post a couple more videos of Journey moving from her previous room to her new room, and then I'm going to post like 2 other videos today too. So stay tuned. Hopefully I can have a special guest pretty soon on here to share his experience about what's going on. We're going to have a virtual baby shower June 27th, so stay tuned for that. And keep us lifted in your prayers because I want my baby to come home. And I need all my prayer warriors praying for my strength, baby, because I'm trying. The girl is trying to stay strong and encouraged and give it to God, okay? I'm trying. I love y'all. Bye.